Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Manifusion here with another episode of Gauntlet. So, I turned the music and sounds down a little bit, you might notice. Basically, what I plan to do for this episode is basically just talk about current events and junk that's happened lately. So, currently I am recording and it is Saturday in the middle of the night or morning, like 4 a.m. So last night I went to an F&M, which stands for Friday Night Magic, and it is basically every Friday they will have an event in which you go to a local game store and play Magic the Gathering, which is a trading card game or collectible card game that I enjoy playing with my friends from time to time. So, I've been putting a lot of effort and work in trying to get, fairly competent at the game. And that's more or less been paying off. I actually, just top forward. And by that I mean I literally got, first place. Which was, 4-1. There was like 17 people there. It was pretty awesome. I was, pretty excited that all the hard work I've been trying to put into this is paying off. So, finally got my deck in position that it's decent enough. It's actually pretty competitive. It took a lot of, tweaking and testing, but we finally got something that works. I was really excited about that. I think total for the participating, you get a free booster, and then for winning first place, I got an additional 6. So, obviously, I haven't opened the packs yet because you gotta save those for drafting. But what ended up happening afterwards, on our way home, is we got into a bit of a car accident. I was in the passenger seat of the car, and we were just driving down the road. It was pretty empty, dark on either side, and I guess we'd come across this intersection. There's like one car there, except they were pulling out in front of us, and I guess there's a red light or something that we didn't see. Like I said, I was in the passenger seat, but the car is kind of small, and I'm really tall for it. And so I couldn't actually see, the lights from where I was sitting. But I did see the car that was, pulled out or pulling out in front of us, and our car just didn't stop in time. And we crashed into the back of them. Luckily, no one was hurt or no mortally wounded, and everyone's still kind of, in a little bit of pain. After all, it was an accident. Though, luckily, I was in the roller coaster position, as in, I wasn't going anywhere. So, it's a bit sore, but I'm otherwise okay. It was a really weird experience, though, because what happens at first was, you see everything happening around you, at least for me, because in those situations, I don't actually panic. In fact, my heart was racing more during the F&M than it actually was during the accident, as it was happening. So, what I saw was basically our car plow into the back of this, I guess, SUV. We were in a tiny Corolla. But so what happened then, it was really weird, because after our cars made contact, there was this... it's not like time slowed down, but I guess we were only going 25 to 30 miles an hour, so it wasn't a huge wreck kind of thing. But it did feel weird because it was like when the cars were making contact, there was this moment in between contact, and I guess the car that we were running into had, I guess they kind of spun around because it felt like, it seemed like another car had hit the front of us, but I'm guessing that was just their car spinning. And it was weird though. My heart wasn't pounding. I was, you know, completely focused and clear-headed, and just, you know, it was a thing that was happening, and I was just experiencing it. Like, it didn't get me upset or freaked out, although I can't say the same about the driver. He was, you know, pretty anxious through the whole thing. But, yeah, everyone was okay. There was a lady in the car. Luckily, there weren't any kids or anything. It was just, you know, a single driver. Apparently, her husband was in a motorcycle behind. You know, he saw the thing happen. But, yeah, we called the cops, got everything sorted. And the weirdest part about it wasn't just, you know, how calm I felt, how, you know, seeing everything happen. It was the fact that I didn't actually feel anything. Like, you know, most people would be like they're anxious or, you know, worried, or, you know, they have something going on. But for me, it just kind of felt blank. Like, you know, just completely level-headed, just taking the moment as it was happening, not freaking out. It's just weird to think about, because in most those kind of situations, people will be freaking out. They will be, you know, like having their adrenaline pumping. But it seriously feels like, you know, I felt nothing for it. I don't know if this makes me a monster or just weird, but I've always had a really weird time when it comes to emotions and feeling things, and especially expressing the feeling of things. But in that moment, it was just, you know, neutral, I guess I would say. But the part that was weird was the fact that I feel like that I was more anxious about the whole, you know, card game that I was just playing, you know, and the decision factor in that. I guess the reason that it didn't really, you know, get to me is the fact that I had no control over the situation. There was no decisions to make or actions to take. The most I could do was say, "Dude, look out," and point at the car. And that was, like, my role in the entire situation. Like, luckily when we hit, I didn't really move much. I mean, I had my seatbelt on, and my legs were firmly planted. So it's like, I wasn't going anywhere. But the airbag that had, you know, exploded open actually punctured a hole through the glass that was right in front of me, and it looked like it had caved my head had caved it in. Luckily that was not the case, but wow, just like the damage to the car was pretty severe. My friend hadn't turned it off right away after the accident, because, again, he was freaking out and wanted to check on the other person. But, like, the entire front of it was pretty well caved in, and the car started making this, like, most horrendous noise after, you know, a couple minutes. And it was just, like, the most bizarre thing as far as, you know, cars go. See, I don't drive. This doesn't make me want to do it anymore. But it was just one of those things where I don't know anything about cars, and just being in that situation, I felt like, you know, I was just experiencing that moment, you know, because it was a completely unique experience that I haven't felt before. Though, apparently I'm not an adrenaline junkie, so that's good to know, I guess. I also learned that you're not allowed to joke about how the car, your car that just got crushed in the face, that kind of looks like the Canadians from South Park, where they have like the flappy mouths. You're not allowed to joke about that, you know, right after the accident. Apparently that's too soon. You know, didn't know that. I mean, I still don't understand why, because, you know, it's not like anyone got hurt. And it's not like, you know, I'm the kind of person who, after a situation like that, when, you know, you find out everyone's okay and, you know, you don't really have to worry about serious injuries or death, then that's the time when you could just be like, remember that stupid thing that you did? Yeah, that was funny. Glad no one got hurt. But no, apparently, you know, that's not kosher. Yeah, I'm really having a hard time telling whether or not I'm a bad person. But, you know, you live, you continue with your life, move on. And then you stay up all night and do a recording of a silly video game. And why? Because why not? I mean, okay, it's, as I established, Saturday. It's this, I guess today, is actually supposed to be Miku Expo, which I was supposed to go with my friends. But one of them, you know, the one who was driving at the time, he has to deal with like all the insurance junk and getting the, you know, car out of what you call it? I guess the mechanic, wherever they had taken it. But so he's not going to be able to go, and I mean, like I said, it's 4 a.m. I can't sleep. I mean, I've been laying in bed for like the last 2 or 3 hours, and just my brain refuses to shut off. I keep thinking about stuff, which is weird. I'm mostly thinking about Magic and how I need to fix up my deck. It's an obsession, I swear. It really gets to you. But I just figured, you know, instead of staying up all night, being miserable, trying to sleep, I'd at least try and be somewhat productive and get this done. Because as it is, I wasn't going to be able to get in an episode due to, you know, F&M and then Miku Expo, which will be Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's the concert. Oh, no key. Yay, key. But so, yeah, there's just, it's one of those things where it's like a lot of stuff's going on all at once. Because then next week is GPLA, which is the Grand Prix in Los Angeles. But it's basically a massive event tournament thing for Magic the Gathering that I will be attending, which is the week after, well, so next week. And I think I'm going to be carpooling with like 5+ other people. And I'm going to try and compete in there. See how well my deck works out. You know, in like the pro scene. Ew. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening all at once. I don't know, seems like way too much. I'm getting too old for this. I'm not actually that old, but I keep getting those moments where I feel like I am. It's funny, ever since I got back into Magic the Gathering, and by that I mean I played for like a week at most in like Legions, which is I think somewhere like 12 years ago. But it's weird to think that getting back into it, there's a lot of people that are around my age that are either also getting back into it or have been playing for a long time. And so, I'm not actually the most sociable of people. I mean, I am extremely antisocial. I mean, not necessarily because I dislike human interaction, although I admit it can be quite stressful at times. But just, you know, because of my logical demeanor and or just robotic coldness that I guess a lot of people construed for me, that I have a very difficult time interacting with people, especially just random strangers who I have nothing necessarily to talk about. Because that whole first interaction is like really awkward for me. Like, I don't know what to do or say when talking to people. It just feels like really forced or fake. Because I really am not the kind of person who enjoys small talk, or does it, typically. Like, I'll be honest, the whole doing Let's Plays, for a long time, has just been my way of trying to improve my social ability and learning how to interact with people, which is quite funny, I believe, since I'm not actually interacting with, people face to face. I'm like doing this whole weird talking to people who aren't actually there thing, which I find quite amusing from time to time. But honestly, I think it has helped a lot, even if it's the fact that just talking makes it easier to talk for longer periods of times. Because I've realized that after, doing Let's Plays and attending those, events where you're talking to people a lot of the time, where it's just like, your voice hurts a lot. Especially when you're not used to talking or interacting with others. Because, I mean, I work from home, so the most I talk to people is, like, whenever my boss calls, which is, like, once a month. Because mostly it's just either, text typing, or occasionally talking to friends, like, once a week, maybe? So, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's helped. At least a little bit. And look, we were able to multitask. And we can actually see a bar on our gold. Neat. Wait. Did it just say world champion and only, like, 30-something thousand? Seems really low.